Hayden Panettiere thing reminded me of how treacherous and destructive and dangerous and fatal this condition is.
I'm not kidding. I'm talking to the addicts if they're listening. You're going to die. Look to your running buddy there. One of the two of you is going to die in the next 5 years. That's just the numbers. And so when people are shocked that this young, poor, sad girl died, it's not shocking to me. Like, it's shocking to the people who liked her on Disney, or whatever, followed her. It's not shocking to me. One out of two are going to die. And the question is, are you going to be the one that dies or the one that thrives? It really is up to the individual, Drew. It really is.
Yeah, it is. And yet I see miracles all the time. People that, I would not have imagined would get
Steven
it.
Adler.
They
what
themselves,
about Steven Adler's still alive?
He's doing great. You got to remember when we got Steve, he had just tried to cut his head off, and he was poor guy, was so ill with stuff.
Dr. Drew got me off heroin and crack.
Did he really?
Yeah, Dr. Drew is so helpful. He can explain to you reasons why you're drinking and drugging. And he can explain it in a Sesame Street way, where it's pretty basic.
But I love Steven. It works if you work it. It's that simple. You just got to show up. You got to listen to the Shelly, listen to the Bobs of the world. It's but I'm beginning to increase my awareness that there is a gift of desperation. And if you help people get to that point of desperation, they really have a much higher probability of getting well. This is a progressive illness that gets left out of every conversation. It progresses and ends in death. That's where it goes, or hospitalization, or in jails. That's where, though we don't hospitalize and we don't put people in jails anymore, so they die. So why the failures? What would you say?
I think that people don't have the staying power to deal with the long-term nature of what is required to really recover. Number one, it does not take 30 days. And because now the drugs that are out there now, they require a lot more inpatient treatment that's not available, readily available.
That's right.
And people don't want to take the time or the money to go into treatment for long-term. People have to go in for 90 days. They have to be in contained environments that are therapeutic, and they don't want to do that. And especially people who have resources, they think that they can take shortcuts because they're special. And like what Bob was talking about earlier, and that terminal uniqueness, this is addiction feeds off of uniqueness and feeds off of minimization of the issues. And I maximize when someone comes to me and says, my son or daughter or friend or relative is taking XYZ, I say they talk to somebody right away. They need to talk to somebody right away. They need to figure out if this person needs help. They need addiction treatment. Lots of times it's so far down the line, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 years they've been addicted, and people are just starting to see the consequences. People don't need to go to rehab just because of consequences. They need to go to rehab if they are sick, and we're treating them like not sick, and they're very, very sick.
Yes.
And I don't understand how I can get across to people that this is an illness and it's not a moral failing.
It's crazy.
An illness.
Yeah.
And we really need
it's treated in this state as just a choice, a recreation, just as something they're leading their best life. This is as sick as humans can get in terms of their brain disease, other than some neurodegenerative disease. On a psychiatric spectrum, and by the way, typically they end up with psychiatric symptoms because of the drugs, or they may start with psychiatric pathology to begin with. In either case, it's complicated and requires high-level professional training. And Shelly, do you know who's not trained to manage these kinds of cases? Social workers. And they're the ones we're asking to manage this stuff out on the street. It's like we might as well give them a scalpel and tell them to do abdominal surgery.